Hi guys, welcome to my Gloosh tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks on how to use your Gloosh and also how to clean your Gloosh pens. Okay, so let's get started. So many people who are going to be using Gloosh will probably use them on mandalas, or you might have to draw out whatever design you want. So I kind of want to show you guys what you would do if you did have any grid lines. So obviously with Gloosh there's many ways to apply it. We've got a little brush. We've also got a little thin nozzle or tip, precision tip, I guess. These are both on the same side. They're both on the same side. Okay. There's nothing on this side, unfortunately. Okay. So you can paint on your Gloosh. You could do like brush strokes, all kinds of stuff. Okay? So I just wanted to show that. You can also, with the precision tip, you can create nice plump dots. You can do bigger dots. You can also kind of draw with it. Sometimes I like doing my signature with Gloosh. Okay. I've also got this 30 milliliter refill bottle that also has a precision tip. So you can also use you can use this to make nice plump dots. You can also get a tool and swoosh it. Okay. I also have a 60 milliliter refill bottle, but it does not have the precision tip. Okay. It is more like this. And you can just pour this glue into like a paint pot and use it with a dotting tool. With the precision tip 30 milliliter refill bottle, you can take this, you can open up your Gloosh pen, and you can easily fill it. Okay? I filled it a little bit too much. Let me just take some out of there. Okay. Now a lot of you might be wondering, sometimes when you use your precision tip, it might get stuck. This is a tacky glue, so it does dry if air gets to it, and sometimes it can clog up the precision tip. So sometimes if it's not coming out, I kind of like to put it on a piece of paper and just kind of really squeeze it, and most of the time it'll get whatever's clogged in there out. But you can also go and clean the tip as well as the paintbrush that's in it. So I'm going to show you guys how to clean the pen, just in case you need to. Okay, so to clean the pen, you're going to remove this. And sometimes I like to cover this up so it doesn't dry out. So if you need to cover it up with your finger or with a paper towel or something, you can do that. But I do recommend covering this up so nothing dries out. But you are basically going to turn on your water And you can literally run this underwater and just kind of clean it out. Okay. Now that cleans your brush, but you might see that there's a little bit of, you know, some dry gloosh in there. So what I like to do is I'd like to take something that's small, like a needle tip something, a needle, just something that's small. And I kind of like to go in there and just kind of get all those dry pieces of gloosh out of there, just kind of loosen them up. And then you can run this underwater again and kind of get everything else out. So I'm just kind of getting any large pieces out of there, any dry gloosh, or loosening it up, and then I'm going to run it under some water again. Okay. All right, so that helped it a little bit. To clean it even more, you could take the top off, and you can put some hot water in a cup, and you can just drop this in and just kind of have it sit in there for like a minute or two. Just kind of dunk it, and then take it out, and it should hopefully loosen up anything that is stuck in here. And then you should be able to put this back on, and when you start squeezing it out, if it's hard to squeeze out, just squeeze it really hard and hopefully it'll clear it up, and then you shouldn't have any issues. And you should be able to start glooshing again. Look at those. Okay, so that's how I clean out my gloosh pen. Okay, so something else I wanted to show you guys is that you can pour some gloosh in a paint pot like this, and you can actually thin it out. If it's too thick, you can thin it out with just a little bit of water. It will not mess with tackiness. So I like to take a little dropper and just drop a few drops in it, and then I like to stir it, and it'll thin it out. And this will also make your gloosh go a lot further. So I like to do a little bit at a time because you don't want to make it too thin. Okay, so that's good. So then you can use your dotting tools. You can also use a paintbrush if you would like to. This will not ruin your paintbrush. Okay. That was supposed to be a heart, but it's not very good. Okay, and then always, after using gloosh with a paintbrush, make sure to wash it right away. Otherwise, it will ruin your paintbrush. But if you wash it afterwards, you will have no issues, and your paintbrush will be just fine. Okay, so I'm going to let these dry, and then I am going to show you guys how to take off the grid lines, apply the mica, and also how to seal your gloosh. Okay, you guys, so the gloosh is finally dry. The drying time definitely depends on how thick you put on the gloosh. The more like thick round dots, those normally take the longest. If you like draw anything or do brush strokes, those normally dry the fastest. So it just kind of depends, but nice plump thick dots normally take, you know, say I did it last night, normally I have to wait till the next morning to find those dry but there they are dry. I want to show you guys how to erase your grid lines now. Okay, so initially when I first started using Gloosh and I had grid lines in the back of my piece, we're just pretending this is a piece right here. I was like, oh, let me put on my mica powder and then let me take off my grid lines. But we're not going to do that. Instead, you're always going to take off your grid lines before you apply your mica powder. Now, you might say, oh, I don't want to put, you know, water on top of the Gloosh. It might make it less tacky. Well, that is not the case. So, you're going to take a wet washcloth, or, you know, if you like using, what are they called? Baby wipes. If you like using baby wipes, you can use those, but I'm just going to take a wet washcloth. This might be a little weird because this is, I already got it super wet. This is paper, but that's okay. And I'm just going to wash off those grid lines. Hopefully they wash off this paper. You guys can see I'm making it incredibly wet. It's not going to mess with the tackiness, I promise. Okay. So I got those grid lines off. You do see it under the Gloosh still, but that's okay. We're going to cover that with mica powder. You can also cover it with foil, transfer foil, which I also have, and I'll also show you that as well. Okay, so once it's dry, you can put your finger on it and make sure it's still tacky. It is. So I'm going to show you how to use the transfer foil. Oop. So if you've got some transfer foil or even gold leaf, you can use that as well. I'm going to, I think it's this way. Put the transfer foil on it and just kind of press it down on it. You can also use like something to really get it on there. And then I should be able to pull it up and it'll be on there now. Look at that. Super cool. And then of course you can also use some mica powder. So I'm going to take some mica powder. And put it on there. Okay, let's try some of the transfer paper over here, or foil. It's kind of fun using both of them. Oh, and I put it on the wrong way. Okay. There we go. So cool. Okay. And then, so if we're pretending this is an actual piece, you might look at your piece and be like, wow, there's a lot of mica left over on the back of the piece. What I like to do is I like to take a paintbrush that's kind of messed up, kind of, it's got like a tough feel to it, and it's not like crazy soft. And then I like to just brush off the excess mica powder. This seems to do the trick. If you find any other ways that work better for you, you're more than welcome to use those ways. But it pretty much does the trick. You might have a little bit of, you know, mica powder left on there at the very end, but once you varnish, you're really not going to see much of the leftover mica powder on the back. Okay, look at how beautiful. Alright, so once you have all your mica powder on, or your transfer foil, or your gold leaf, or whatever you wanted to put on there, now you can seal it. You can seal it with a spray-on varnish, a brush-on varnish. You can also seal it with resin. So right here I've got some UV resin. So I'm just gonna pour some over that just to show you guys. And I am going to just kind of spread it. Just gonna kind of spread it. This is just so you guys can see that, you know, the mica doesn't go anywhere. The foil doesn't go anywhere when you seal it. Also, I want to show you guys that even if you really, you know, rub it when the mica is on there and it's not sealed, it's not going to come off. Whereas if you have ever done the hot glue gun art, you have to be careful with how you're rubbing on the glue. With Gloosh, you don't necessarily have to worry because it's on there. It's on there for good. Now, if you do take a wet cloth or something and you rub it, then it'll come off. See, it came off a little bit, but you can always reapply normally and you're good. If not, you just put some more Gloosh on there, reapply the mica or foil, and you should be good to go. Okay, so there's my resin. This is UV resin. I'm just going to cure it. Just kind of want to show you guys. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so now the resin is cured, and this is how it looks. Very nice. Okay, and then you can also seal with a spray-on varnish or a brush-on varnish, whichever one you would like. I just want to show you that it won't like spread the mica powder anywhere. Okay. And then you wait for it to dry. Alrighty guys, that's the end of this tips and trick tutorial on Gloosh. I really hope that this helped you out. If you guys have any questions at all, you can leave them below in the comments, or if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok at Deserted Bliss, you can also message me there with any questions. I also teach a bunch of classes on Gloosh, glue dot art, just regular dot art, on my Patreon if you want to learn. There is a 7-day free trial, so you can check it out before you actually purchase, but it's a monthly subscription for $10 a month. And then you can also get discounts through that on my website. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you love using your Gloosh. And I'll see you guys later. Okay, goodbye.